The grocery store was buzzing with the quiet rhythm of everyday life, shopping carts rolling, shelves being restocked, soft music playing overhead, when Daniel Hargreaves, a self-made millionaire known more for his sharp business instincts than for compassion, stopped abruptly in the dairy aisle, because a small, trembling voice cut through the noise and reached a place in him he didn't even know still existed, a voice that said, "Sir, could you help me?" And when he turned, he didn't see an opportunist or a beggar, but a little girl no older than 5, thin, pale, and standing far too straight for someone her age, holding a crying baby boy against her chest with arms that looked too fragile to bear such responsibility, yet she held him with a determination that startled him, her dress worn, her shoes scuffed, her hair tied back loosely as if she had tried to make herself neat despite having very little, and the baby in her arms was clearly hungry, his cries hoarse, desperate, the kind of cry that doesn't ask but pleads, and Daniel, who had negotiated billion-dollar deals without blinking, suddenly found himself unsure of what to say as the girl swallowed hard and pointed toward a carton of milk she couldn't reach, saying in a voice that tried to be brave, "My baby brother hasn't eaten since yesterday. I promise I will pay you back when I grow up," and those words, "when I grow up," hit him harder than any accusation ever could, because they carried innocence, hope, and a crushing sense of responsibility that no child should ever have to bear, and in that moment Daniel saw a flash of his own past, long buried under success, back when he too had known hunger, back when his mother would water down milk so it lasted longer, back when promises were all he had to offer the world, and the store around him faded as he knelt down to the girl's level, noticing the way she rocked the baby gently even as he cried, whispering to him that it would be okay even though she herself clearly wasn't sure it would be, and Daniel asked softly where her parents were, and the girl hesitated, eyes dropping to the floor before she said, "Mama works late. Papa left. I take care of him," and there was no self-pity in her voice, only fact, as if she had accepted this role without question, and something inside Daniel broke quietly, because he realized this child wasn't asking for charity, she was asking for a chance, and instead of answering immediately, he stood up, took a shopping cart, and began filling it, not just with milk, but bread, fruit, cereal, baby formula, diapers, warm soup, even a small stuffed toy he noticed the girl staring at for just a second too long, and as he placed each item into the cart, the girl's eyes widened with disbelief, her grip tightening on her brother as if she feared this kindness might disappear if she let go, and when he was done, he pushed the cart toward the checkout counter and told her to wait, but she followed closely, still holding the baby, still afraid to hope, and as the cashier rang everything up, the total climbed higher and higher, yet Daniel didn't flinch, because for the first time in a long time, the numbers didn't matter, and when he paid and handed the receipt to the girl, she stared at it as though it were something sacred, then looked up at him with tears finally spilling over, whispering, "I promise. I promise I'll pay you back when I grow up," and Daniel smiled sadly and told her, "You already have," though she didn't understand what he meant, and as he walked them outside and saw the way they hesitated at the door, unsure of where to go, he asked where they lived, and when she described a small, broken apartment several blocks away, he did something that would shock everyone who later heard the story. He didn't just give them groceries, he gave them his time, calling his driver, arranging a ride, and following them to see the truth of her life for himself, and when he stepped into that apartment and saw the peeling walls, the empty cupboards, the single mattress on the floor, the absence of toys or comfort, something inside him made a decision that would change all of their lives forever, because that night he didn't just leave groceries behind, he left his phone number, he arranged childcare, he connected the mother with stable work, and before the week was over, he paid their rent, covered medical care for the baby, and quietly set up a trust fund in the girl's name for her education, not as charity, but as an investment in a promise he believed in, and years later, when that same girl would stand on a stage, confident and educated, telling the world how kindness saved her family, Daniel would sit in the audience unnoticed, tears in his eyes, knowing that the greatest return he ever got wasn't from business, but from choosing compassion in a grocery store aisle, and if this story moved you even a little, remember that sometimes the smallest promises change the biggest lives, and if you believe stories like this matter, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because every subscribe helps us share more powerful stories that remind the world that kindness still exists.